There are millions of different methods to learn and memorize complex topics that we face not only in school, but also at work and in everyday life. But none come close to one method that I've been using for the last 4 years to learn almost everything I know today, and that is teaching. Most people sit in front of a person we call a teacher and get taught by them, but this is not always the best approach to learning or understanding complex topics. As the name implies, they are very complex and cannot simply be understood by listening to someone talk about them. We need to be more hands-on with the topic to truly understand what we are trying to learn and, more importantly, create connections in the brain as quickly as possible, which we cannot do by simply sitting and listening to someone talk about that topic. Before we can understand how we can do it, let's talk about why we want to teach. Now, there are 3 categories I believe define learning as a whole, which are memorizing, understanding, and manipulating. If we explore the millions of learning and memorizing techniques that we've incorporated into our lives, such as note-taking, voice recording, palm cards, spaced repetition, and writing papers, just to name a few, we can identify that each of these methods only addresses 1 or 2 of the categories, but never all 3, making them somewhat inefficient when it comes to approaching very complex topics like languages, music, or organic chemistry. Now, the reason teaching is so effective is that it satisfies all 3 of the categories, making it perfect for learning these complex topics. Now, I wouldn't say teaching is the best technique if we're just trying to learn something super simple like remembering people's names or quotes, but for the most part, it's pretty perfect. Now, teaching is a very active process. When you see your teacher writing formulas and chemical equations on the board and breaking them down, who do you think is actually learning more, the teacher or the student? Funnily enough, it's actually the teacher, because they're not only recalling everything that they know, but they're also manipulating what they are saying so that you can understand. Every high school math teacher understands college-level mathematics, but they need to simplify and almost dumb down their understanding of a given topic so that you and I can understand it too. It's actually a win-win because the teacher is reinforcing their understanding of a topic and you get to learn the fundamentals of that topic, like calculus. This is what we're trying to achieve with teaching. We need to pretend we are teaching someone much younger than us who knows nothing about a given topic. This way, we recall information about that topic, create diagrams and illustrations that make it easier for that person to understand, and manipulate the information that we've recalled so that this person can understand it at a foundational level. This process is almost entirely unique to teaching, and it is what makes it so effective at making complex topics so digestible. Now, how exactly can we teach? Well, I think there is nothing better than investing into a small whiteboard similar to this one that I have in my room, which set me back a whole $12. I know, insane. Also, you need to buy some additional whiteboard markers, which was about $6 for me. Now, once you have one, you can use it for literally everything. If you are unable to buy a whiteboard, that's fine. You can use a notepad with a pen and, I don't know, pretend that it's a whiteboard. I like to physically pretend like I'm teaching as well, to teach someone, because I think everything out loud kind of reinforces the content more. But some might prefer to speak only in their mind, which works just as well. As long as we are always pretending that we're teaching someone else, because teaching this imaginary person is actually way more beneficial to us than you may think. Now, how do you start? I know we've been talking about teaching the whole time, but for us to even start manipulating or memorize a complex topic, we need a foundational understanding of it. From a teacher or for YouTube, for example, to get started. You can't speak a foreign language without knowing some words. Once we learn the basics, we can jump straight onto the whiteboard and start jotting some stuff down. There are certain topics for which I tend to prefer using whiteboards for, like chemistry or math, as they become very easy once you start visualizing the concepts. When I learn something, I tend to draw it or turn it into a diagram as soon as possible. For example, calculus may appear to be, super difficult when you write down the formulas, but once you realize it's used to find the area or volume of certain 3D shapes, it loses a lot of its scare factor. Simplify everything. Draw everything. Write down questions. Answer a ton of questions, step by step on that whiteboard. Constantly explain out loud or in your head the steps that you are taking or why you chose to do something. This will all further our understanding of our thinking process and make the content or topic way more interesting and easier to digest. Finally, make everything as clear as possible and always look at the bigger picture. If you can follow these simple steps, you will conquer every complex topic you face with ease. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned something new. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see all of you in the next video. Take care.